good with y'all, man? Happy Wednesday. Hopefully you guys are having a good day. Hopefully you guys are having a good week. You know me, just got back from the gym, chest day. But let's go ahead and get into this talking, man. It's time for these haters to accept the truth. So, I was sent this graphic. Bam! When you first look at this graphic, what does this graphic tell you? What does it tell you? Now, I will give the benefit of the doubt. Superman is not included on this James Gunn Peter Safran. But, hold on with me. I added up all the numbers and added in James Gunn Superman. So, we're going to go over here to my little notepad. I wrote it down. So, when we total up Zack Snyder's numbers, it goes to 4.893,873,727. When we go to Hamada's numbers, it goes to 1.288,482,516. When we go to Gunn and Safran's numbers, it goes to 1.577,235,071. That is a big difference. Now, I know some people are probably going to say, well, James Gunn's Suicide Squad and yada 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 didn't release in theaters or something like that, or released on I can't remember the exact date, but it released on HBO Max and people got to watch it there or something. I can't remember. It was something like that. Let's just be generous. We add in 1.5 billion for James Gunn's total, and it still doesn't come close to Zack Snyder's numbers. My favorite saying is this: men lie, women lie, numbers do not lie. And you can hate Zack all you want, but the man is a GOAT when it comes to DC content. I don't care what you're talking about on the outside. When it comes to DC content, Zack is a GOAT. Is he perfect? No. No film director, no human is perfect. Sure, sometimes he goes a little overboard with the slow motion, but then there's some badass scenes that got the slow motion and it's very necessary. Sure, there's some scenes that could be cut out that didn't need to be included in the movie. For example, I like with Zack Snyder's Justice League, you know, when Batman's talking to Aquaman and Aquaman swims away and then Bruce is just sitting there listening to the ladies sing. I thought that scene was unnecessary. It could have been cut out of the movie. Now, I don't know what they were saying. Maybe they were saying something that I didn't catch on to. But I feel like that part could be cut out. So yes, there's some things Zack could do better, you know, with the slow motions and extra scenes that really don't need to be in it. But other than that, Zack is a great storyteller, great visuals. He knows how to pick a cast. He knows what the hell he's doing. And the reason he's so successful is because he knows what the hell he's doing. He loves these characters and he treats them how they should be treated. There is a reason why DC went from, look at the number difference here. Just look at them. Look at the difference. Imagine if DC just stayed the course. Imagine if DC let Zack Snyder have free reign the way James Gunn does. By the way, Zack Snyder had a planned universe. He had a set plan that he was looking forward to doing. James Gunn, he shits all over the place. All over the place. You telling people to go watch Peacemaker because it's connected to Superman, and then you're telling people you don't need to watch Peacemaker for Superman. That's why it's coming out of movie theaters early. And then he came out and said that Green Lanterns are a major part of the Superman universe, and then it come out to say that it wasn't. All over the place. But Zack Snyder had a set plan. He had everything lined out that he wanted to do. This is why the Snyder era is one of the greatest eras in DC. Now, Christopher Nolan had his run too, but he's over. You know, but we keeping it like this because Nolan got to finish his trilogy. Zack didn't. There is a reason why Zack's numbers are so high, and there's a reason why Hamada era and the Gunn / Safran era is so low. Peacemaker's not charting besides HBO Max top 10 because, well, there's nothing else on there to watch. I mean, it didn't even crack a million. It's what the max viewership was like 677,000 or something like that. And then James Gunn's own fans are turning on Gunn because the season finale was very ass. Men lie, women lie, numbers do not lie. Now, I'll be honest, in my comment section, a lot of the Gunn cultists, they ain't really been there no more. Ever since that article came out that said Superman lost $42 million or it lost money, they been quiet. They been in hiding. And I told y'all months ago, I was like, all right, once this little fake hype train is over, y'all better get off the internet because it's going to be a lot of roasting going on. Now, my comments been kind of clear. I ain't really been seeing too many Gunn cultists out here, you know, acting crazy and delusional. I ain't seen them. They disappeared. Where y'all go? I want y'all to come back so y'all can accept the truth of what we've been trying to tell you this whole time. Superman was a flop in the box office. Creature Commandos didn't chart. Peacemaker didn't chart. There's a reason. Majority of the fan base do not want James Gunn's DC. They don't. They don't. And this also ties into what happened before James Gunn took over. Now, I said this a while ago. I said this. See, I hold myself accountable when I say things. I always mention them. Before Superman released in movie theaters, I sat there and said, James Gunn Superman doesn't need to make a lot of money. What it needs to do is win the fans back. And it didn't either. It didn't make a lot of money and it didn't win the fans back. So, the only way you can fix this is you have to course correct. Now, hopefully, when WB is sold, it can go to someone who loves the characters, the IPs, and treat them correctly. Because this Superman is a wimp. We shouldn't be seeing boobs and ding-a-lings on the screen. It shouldn't be happening. No, that's not DC. That's not DC content, man. Then I had somebody trying to compare. Actually, I ain't even gonna talk about that because I ain't seen that dude in a minute. He done disappeared. He's in hiding ever since Superman's real numbers came out. He's been in hiding, so I ain't even gonna mention what he said because it's irrelevant. The fake hype train is over. This movie had the most amount of views in 24 hours or whatever it was. It made $125 million in profit. All these fake domestic articles. Domestic man has outperformed Lord of the Rings domestically. Meanwhile, Lord of the Rings made over like $1 billion. Like, come on, man. So, I just want to point this out since this was sent to me. The numbers says it says it themselves. It says it themselves. And you, like I said, you can hate Zack Snyder. You cannot like his stuff. But one thing you cannot say is that people don't support what he does. Because to majority of the DC fan base, Zack knows what the hell he's doing. He knows these characters. He treats them like they should be treated. In this Gunn era, absolutely not, man. Absolutely not. No. I'm not even the biggest Superman fan. And I thought the way Superman was portrayed was so weak. Just so weak and pathetic. Getting kicked in the nuts, man. Come on. We got a man who can lift a planet. And he got kicked in the nuts. Y'all already know, man. Hashtag restore the Snyderverse. Hashtag release the Ayer cut. Because that's where the real money lies. That's what the fans want. And like I said in the previous video, it's not about bullying our way into getting what we want. We are the consumers. We buy what we want to buy. And we can support what we want to support. So when you have people who don't want to support this universe, that's their free will. And if people aren't buying your product, well, you're not going to make money. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. And you got all these people. I don't even know if this is true, but I saw people talking about this online that a dude bought 134 Superman 2025 tickets. You got people like that out there trying to make this movie be so successful, and it still declined. And you gotta also remember it sold half the tickets Man of Steel did. Half. And ticket prices are double what it used to be when Man of Steel came out. But I guarantee you, if it was Man of Steel 2, it would have did numbers. It would have did numbers. Would it have made $1 billion? I don't know. Maybe because the hype would be so crazy, it could. I don't know, but it could. Because if y'all remember when they announced that Cavill was coming back with Black Adam, do y'all remember how crazy the internet got? The internet broke that day. Trending all over the place. So, listen. Men lie. Women lie. Numbers do not lie. And it's pretty simple, man. It's literally pretty simple. James Gunn's DCU is a dead, cock-blocking universe. And I say that because of this. You know how you go and talk to a fine woman, and then you share her friends with her, and then because you ain't talking to the friend, you talking to her, and she's trying to cock-block you, you know? She ain't trying to let you get no play. Like, let me get to know you. She ain't letting it happen. That's what James Gunn's universe is. It's cock-blocking everything. It's cock-blocked us from, not James Gunn, but it's cock-blocked us from Zack Snyder finishing his vision. It cock-blocked us from Cavill coming back. It cock-blocked us from Affleck coming back. It cock-blocked us from seeing the real version of Flash. And it cock-blocked us from just so much greatness. So yes, to me, James Gunn's DC is a dead, cock-blocking universe. So, it is what it is. These are my thoughts on this graph. Appreciate y'all sending me this. And like I said, Superman's total was not included in this. But I added it to the total. And it's pretty bad. It's bad. You know it's bad because Zack's almost hit over 5. We could give James Gunn 1.5 billion. Hell, we could give him 2. And his numbers still wouldn't pass Zack Snyder's. That's my thoughts on this, man. And yo, I apologize. For some reason, my PC's overloading. So in this video, it's gonna chop up and freeze a little bit, but you can still hear my voice. But that's my thoughts on this, man. I will catch you guys in the next one, man. 100,000 subscribers is grind time. Let's get it.